Hey guys, it's Thomas, Southern Outdoors and Sea. I've got something here today I wanted to go over here with you. I've been kayak fishing now for about 2 years now, I guess. And whenever I started out, me and my wife both bought a native ultimate basic kayak. Same kayak exactly, just a basic kayak. And I want to share with you today my setup. I shared with you that about last year about this time, but this time I want to go over it again. This time I want to show you what I've changed, what I've learned, the good, the bad, and the ugly of this kayak. So let's get with it, guys. Alright, you'll see that I mounted me some, these are the Scotty rod mounts. Bought some of these, bought me some bolts to put in here and mount it. It's good and secure, it ain't going nowhere. Same thing on this side, same exact kind. Bought some of those. I've actually done some work on my crate back here, and I'll show you real quick what I've done with it. As you can see from my last video, I had all the pipes inside, a piece of conduit inside. Well, I've changed that. I put 2 of them on the outside and one here over here in the corner. And I did that for a reason. Just everything was getting in the way, kind of in here. Kind of staggers them out a little bit. It gives me a little bit more room inside. Also, instead of having a pipe, this mount here goes in. The mount right here. What I did was I took and cut this off, and you can still take that off. It's tight, but you can take that off. And I put me some pipe clamps on here to hold it nice and still. So because I got to noticing in some of the videos that it was making a wobbly sound. You could hear it every time I paddle. It would bop 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 bop, just making a wobbly sound. But you can see they're on the back there, just took them pipe clamps big enough to put on there. And you can see that I've got this right here. We can lock all this stuff down. In case you have a tip over, you've got this all secured. Plus I got this right here, and here's the strap across here, bored a hole there, bored a hole right there, so that way if you do flip over, the crate's not going to come out. A lot of you's asked me about these rod floats, and I gotta put the one back on here. I would not go on the water again without these. You're gonna save yourself a lot of headache, a lot of money, if you just take and make a small investment and buy some of these. I'm telling you guys, get them and put them on your rods if you're in a boat, in a small boat, whatever. You're gonna thank yourself, because all you gotta do is go over to the water. If you was to fall out, if you was to lose a rod, fish takes and yanks it out of your hand, all you gotta do is go over there and get it. It's gonna be floating on top of the water. Just make sure you test it out to begin with. I would test it out for sure. So there's my little, now I got a rod float on here as well in case I lose that. I would also recommend having a float here on your rope, on your anchor rope. I got my anchor right here. That pipe, it just goes down right there in that pipe. Keep this right here attached to something. Keep this rope attached to something, because I'm gonna tell you what, this right here, even though it's got this float on here, this right here does not float. It's gonna pull that whole thing down the water. If the water's deep enough, that's gonna all sink. Trust me, I know. I've had to fish that out. Alright, next thing, of course I got my paddle holder right here. When I'm not using my paddle, I can just put it right there. I got my anchor trolley right here. That goes back and forth. I mounted that on there myself. I bought that at Austin Kayaks, is where I bought that from. So I mounted that all on there myself, and it wasn't hard at all. Just got a couple bolts to go on each side of it. 2 bolts right there. As far as my seat goes, I'm gonna have to say something about my seat. This kayak has a good comfortable seat in it. It really is pretty comfortable. You could put a mat on this thing if you wanted to, you know, some kind of little cushion if you wanted to. You don't have to. It is fairly comfortable, but it's too low for fishing. I really don't like the fact that it sits lower than what I like. I like a high seat in my kayak. It just gives me more movability with my arms. So what I did, I built this. I know it looks heavy and it looks big. It's really not. I mean, it's really not that bad. But that right there just sits right down in there. It raises me up, puts me flat. You can see how high that sets me up. I mean, it's not a lot. It's about from right there, you know, because that right there generally sits down on here, right here in the middle. It generally sits down there. But that right there sets me up enough where it's stable. It ain't going nowhere. It just gets my arms up where I can fish. So I made that. Next thing I did, guys, I've got to get me a ball here. I've ordered a ball, lost my ball. So there's a ball that goes right here. This right here goes on here. It's ram mount. There's a ball that goes on here and it just slides right on there, and then you tighten this right here on that right there, and it gives you a rod holder. You can turn that however you want to. I mean, you can lay it down, whatever you want to do. It's very versatile. I really like it. And this right here goes right here, and like I said, you can turn it down, loosen this up, and you can turn it however you want to do. If you want to set this thing like this right here and troll with it, tons of ways you can use this. Tons of ways. So I really like this ram mount. This is the Ram Tube Junior spin reel version. So maybe you guys can see that. I really like this. It really works well. But I gotta get a ball for it. Alright guys, I've went over the kayak. I kind of showed you my setup of it. Now I want to explain to you the good points about it. The good points about it is it's not that expensive. It's like $850 now, I think it is, something like that. It's not an expensive kayak. It's a little bit on the higher side, but it's a good kayak. It's light. That's one really good thing about it. It's light. You can carry around by yourself. It's no problem. It's got two handles on the front and the back that comes with it. I really like that. Alright, it's got the handles in the front and the back, so two people can carry it if it's a little bit heavy. And I do that quite a bit, especially when I'm down the coast, you know, unload it and loading it. So that makes it nice. But if you want to put it in the truck back by yourself, you can do that too. It's not a heavy kayak. I mean, I can throw it up on my shoulder and go with it if there's nothing, you know, if there's nothing in it. But yeah, it tracks straight. It paddles good. It's 12 foot, so it's not real long. And in North Carolina, being under 12 foot, you don't have to get it registered, which I think they're going to start making us do that. North Carolina sees that tax dollar, and I guess they want to get some more money off of us. So you know, we may have to start registering and putting stickers on that on it, just like you would a boat. But that's one of the reasons I've got a 12 foot anyway. But that's the good about it. I mean, that's what I like about it. The bad part about it is not so much a fishing kayak. I bought it to begin with more or less as recreational. I bought it to fish out of some, not so much to do it all the time. Now, whenever I'm using it, more or less I'm fishing out of it. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm using it to fish out of. Alright guys, so now we're down here at the pond. Now I'm going to start showing you a couple bad things about this kayak. It's a good kayak, but there are some bad points. And I'll show you a couple of those. Pay attention to the boat with nobody in it. Now you can see it sets in the water fairly well. You know, it don't set down in the water too much. It does fairly well. Watch when I get in it. Now I don't know if you can see it while I'm in the kayak, but I've sunk down quite a bit more. The bad part about it is that it sets low. The ugly part about it is that the nose is too low when trying to cut through waves. It don't cut, it cuts through them, but all that backsplash will come in this kayak. I'll show you guys some clips of me trying to cut through some waves. It wasn't good, guys. Guys, it's just about white capping out here. I'm having to really fight. I'm actually riding some of these waves. Steve is up ahead of me. Alright guys, you can see right here on the right hand side of my boat whenever I paddled, you see all that water rushing in, and then you see it here on the left hand side where this wave come up and put a bunch of water in my boat, and then you'll see it there on the right hand side again where I hit that wave. This boat just don't handle waves like that well at all. I mean, I was really fighting hard. I was very, very nervous because I was, you know, had a lot of stuff in the boat going across Fort Fisher, because I thought at any second I was going down. You know, it's a bad feeling when you're going across there and you at any second you can lose everything. So I was actually riding the waves out going out through there. It was really way too rough for this particular kayak. Now my buddy on the other hand, Steve Sharon, he had a Hobie Outback, the 2015 model. He's cruising right along, didn't hardly get any water in his boat. And there was a lot of other Hobies and Natives and everything out there. I seen a couple like this, but it might have been a little bit longer than this one. I couldn't really tell. But I will not go across water like that again. I really did not know how I was going to get back across that bay if it was that choppy going back, because it actually took me forever to get across that bay. That is no joke. Forever. I mean, it paddles good. I need a longer paddle. This paddle is actually too short. You can make some sharp turns with it. It's easy to get out of. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video on my native kayak. It really is a good kayak. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not one I would put all my money into if I was going fishing with it all the time, because I think you'll be disappointed. It's got a lot of good points. I would give it more of a recreational scale, but it is a great kayak. Like I said, it's got a lot of great points to it. But the ugly is you do not want to take this thing out down at the coast, down a bay, or wherever that's rough. You know, if you got winds, pretty high winds, 20-25 mile-an-hour winds, I'd stay out of that water. That is not water that you want to be in with this kayak. You're gonna wish you never got your boat in it. I promise you. Overall, like I said, it's a great kayak for recreational purposes. Guys, I hope you like this video. I hope you like what I've talked about in this video, what I've discussed about the Ultimate 12 Native Basic. It is a really good kayak, but just those points that I want to point out, I would highly recommend you stay away from. Ladies and gentlemen, stay away from those points, because you could get yourself in a mess in a hurry. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Check out my channel for other videos. I have videos there at the end of this video that you can click on. Sometimes I put playlists in there on top of those videos instead of just the videos themselves. Click on one of those videos, you see something you like, and go to it and watch it. It's, you know, I put them there so you'll get some more entertainment, some more learning from my videos. Thank you for watching, and y'all take care. We'll see you next video.